It came along the plane of the planets around the sun as if it is on a reconnaissance mission. And that's why it's so easy to observe it from months.
A collision we were never meant to witness is happening right now. Two massive galaxies, NGC 2207 and IC 2163, are crashing into each other. Not in the future, but right now, in real time. They are 120 million light years away, but we're seeing them like never before. Face on, full view, nothing hiding. Thanks to a new image from the James Webb Space Telescope, the universe just pulled back its curtain, and what we see is far from beautiful. These galaxies aren't just merging, they are destroying each other. Their spiral arms, once perfect, balanced, are now twisted like ropes. Tidal forces stretch entire star systems like taffy. Their graceful shapes are gone. What remains is a brutal storm of gravity and fire. But the worst part? This chaos is only the beginning. Scientists are calling it an intricate web of chaos, but that phrase doesn't come close. It's not just light and dust. It's not just stars colliding. It's the death of order. These two galaxies are pulling each other apart, and as they do, shock waves are being released, enough to ignite entire new generations of stars and kill off the old ones. Webb shows the light. But it's Chandra, NASA's X-ray observatory, that reveals the truth. Through Chandra's eyes, we see radiation, but not normal radiation. These are spikes of deadly, high-energy X-rays. Sudden, violent, unexplained. They could be signs of ancient stars being ripped apart, or supernovae that already exploded, or worse, are about to. One astrophysicist said it best. This isn't just a merger, it's a cosmic autopsy. And the closer scientists look, the more disturbing it gets. These aren't random explosions, they follow strange paths. Some flares show up where no activity should exist. Some zones appear to glow unnaturally, as if something inside is trying to escape. These galaxies are being torn open, and whatever's hidden inside is now leaking out. But here's the twist that no one expected. The dead inside these galaxies might not be silent. That's what scientists are seeing in part 2. Because just beyond the spirals, deep inside the X-ray core, the dead are screaming. New discoveries reveal a hidden war zone in the galactic core. What looked like a beautiful cosmic painting turned out to be something far darker. At first glance, the Webb telescope's new image of the colliding galaxies seemed like a dazzling swirl of reds, whites, and gold, the kind of image you'd see on a space calendar. But when scientists overlaid the latest data from the Chandra X-ray Observatory, they found something terrifying buried beneath the colors. It was as if the light itself had been hiding a war zone. In bright blue bursts, like explosions caught mid-flash, the dead were screaming. These weren't random cosmic lights. They marked the places where once dead stars had come back to life. Violently. Old binary star systems were suddenly active, raging with unstable energy. Matter was being pulled and shredded by invisible hands. Collapsed stars, like black holes or neutron stars, were sucking in nearby gas so fast that entire solar systems could disappear without warning. But the strangest part, these X-ray blasts didn't line up with the scientists' models. They were too powerful, too frequent. Some were in regions previously thought to be cold and silent, places believed to be empty husks of space, long past their time. And yet, now they glowed. Hot, unstable, alive again, somehow. One researcher said the patterns felt intentional. Another compared the sudden flares to a cry, a scream through the veil of space. Not metaphor, not poetry, just raw scientific confusion mixed with fear. Was it just the extreme chaos of a galactic collision, or was something else being revealed, something we were never meant to see? The inner cores of both galaxies, once assumed to be dense but relatively quiet, now look like they were on fire. Not with flames, but with radiation. Chandra's instruments were recording spikes in high-energy signals that didn't follow any known rhythm. It was as if the laws of death in space had been rewritten, as if the stars themselves were resisting what should have been their final moments. And now scientists are wondering, if this is what death looks like in a galaxy 120 million light-years away, could it also be our future? Because Earth, sitting calmly inside the Milky Way, is not immune. Our galaxy is already on course to collide with Andromeda, a much larger galaxy, in just under 4 billion years. Until now, we thought we had time. We thought we knew what a galaxy merger would look like, but if this is what really happens, entire systems torn apart, dead stars turning violent, the rules of space breaking, then Earth's position won't save it. Distance won't matter. Orbit won't matter. All that matters is that we're seeing it now. And once you see something like this, you can't look away, but this is just the beginning. Because what scientists found next wasn't just limited to one pair of galaxies. Something else is happening. Something bigger. And it's spreading. No one expected symmetry. When the James Webb Space Telescope first transmitted its most advanced mid-infrared scan of the galactic collision between NGC 2207 and IC 2163, researchers anticipated turbulence, violence, and cosmic debris. The usual chaos of galaxies in the throes of mutual destruction. But that's not what they found. Instead, embedded deep within the overlapping spiral arms was something that sent shivers through even the most seasoned astrophysicists. It was order, but not the comforting kind. Loops, curls, and strange thread-like structures had begun to emerge, perfectly repeated, mirrored, even recursive. Some looked like spirals inside spirals, behaving as if each galaxy was responding not just to gravity, but to a hidden rhythm. These weren't the usual gravitational distortions caused by tidal forces. In fact, the simulations used to model these events, refined over decades, began to fail, line by line. The spiral arms didn't simply stretch and warp, they echoed each other. When one distorted, the other reacted in tandem almost too precisely. Like dancers locked in a deadly waltz, their motions weren't just chaotic, they were synchronized. NASA's crisis meetings went quiet. The deeper teams looked into the data, the stranger it became. Chandra's X-ray overlay only made things worse. Bursts of energy flared at symmetrical points, not once, not twice, but across multiple layers. These weren't random eruptions from stellar corpses or simple shock waves from dying suns. These were flares spaced apart as if plotted, measured, timed. In some cases, two flares erupted on opposite sides of the colliding arms within milliseconds of each other. They weren't just bright, they were coordinated. It broke the models. Supercomputers at deep space physics labs began running continuous simulations 24 hours a day. Nothing matched, not even close. The current laws of galactic dynamics couldn't account for these forms, and that terrified the teams more than chaos ever could. Because chaos can be explained. But this suggested structure. One lead scientist from the Parallax Institute paused mid-briefing and asked the question everyone was too afraid to put into words. What if this isn't just physics? What if it's response? Some theorists quietly floated the unthinkable, that something within the chaos might be directing it. Not intelligent life, not aliens, but a force, a principle, a rule we haven't discovered yet. One that only reveals itself at this terrifying scale. Others argued it might be a new type of cosmic fluid dynamic, a dark matter pattern behavior previously hidden from our sensors, but even those proposals are failing to explain the level of mirroring and spatial recursion being seen. The truth is, science is reaching its limit. and they know it. And just as one team thought it couldn't get stranger, another alert came in, not from the collision site, but from a completely different merger hundreds of millions of light years away. It showed the same exact signal pattern, a mirrored flare, a spiral loop within a spiral loop, a match, and that changes everything. At first, scientists believed they were witnessing a unique disaster, a one-time cosmic collision between NGC 2207 and IC 2163. But when new composite images arrived from the Webb and Chandra fusion, jaws dropped. It wasn't just one collision. It wasn't just one anomaly. 3 entirely different galactic events, thousands of light years apart, began showing the exact same signs, not similar, identical. And that changed everything. In the depths of NGC 6334, known to astronomers as the Cat's Paw Nebula, a massive arc of gas was expected to cool slowly. Instead, it's heating up, far hotter than models predicted. Its glow, when filtered through Chandra's X-ray lens, pulses erratically, like something is stirring inside. Not forming. Stirring. In another corner of the galaxy, supernova remnant G272.2-0. 3 was expected to expand predictably, in line with classical explosion decay models, but the shell is accelerating, as if a second force is pushing it outward. Not gravity, not radiation pressure, something else, something unaccounted for. Then came R Aquarii, a known binary system where a white dwarf siphons matter from a dying red giant. That process has always been violent. But what's happening now is beyond violent. It's ravenous. The white dwarf isn't just feeding, it's flaring, in massive, repeated bursts, destabilizing everything around it. Even seasoned astrophysicists, veterans who've studied dying stars for decades, are calling it deeply unsettling. At first, these were seen as isolated events, but now, the data points to something far more chilling, a possible pattern, not just similarities, but signs of a shared influence, a phase shift behavior that seems to be spreading. Across late-night observatories, simulation labs, and astrophysics forums, a terrifying question has started to echo. What if these aren't isolated events? What if something is destabilizing galaxies across the observable universe and it's just now reaching visibility? Because here's the real fear. These phenomena weren't observable 10 years ago. We didn't have the clarity. But now that we can see deeper, the chaos was already there, hiding in plain sight. Something is breaking the rules of galactic physics, and the terrifying truth is, this isn't the end of the story. The next signal just arrived, and it's even stranger.